And I wanted to retell it in light of Valentine's Day, who's coming up next week. So there was a man who wanted love, so he prayed for love, and God made him see inside of his own heart. And he saw his heart as a field. And God said, if you want love, I will plant it here like a seed inside your heart. If you plant a happy seed, it will grow a happy crop. And if you plant a sad seed, it will grow a sad crop. So choose carefully which seed you plant, but even more carefully the soil you plant it in, which is your heart. So the man, who I'm going to call the lover, he looks into his heart and he notices that there are a lot of rocks. And he says to himself, man, if I plant a seed of love here, the rocks are going to choke out my seeds and it will never grow. So what are the rocks inside your heart that keep love from growing? Rocks are anything that make you think that you're not lovable. Like, oh, I'm too old, or I have cancer, or I'm a single mom. So what are the excuses you tell yourself of why you're not lovable? And please write that in your journal now. Okay, great. It should be a very short list, right? Okay, good. Okay, so put that in your journal. So if you have rocks inside your heart, or just get one rock for now, you don't need very many. So forgiving yourself for those things, or forgiving someone else for putting that rock inside your heart, is going to remove the rock. And then the seeds of love can grow inside of you. Okay, so remember we did forgiveness a couple weeks ago. Forgiveness is thanking yourself, accepting yourself for the way that you are. So we're gonna try this with one of your rocks. So, like, for example, here's one of my rocks. I think I'm unlovable because I'm overweight. So the way that I forgive myself is to thank myself for being overweight. So I just say, Vicky, I love how you enjoy your meal. You are a foodie. You love food. You make people happy when you eat. People can relate to you because you're always ready to eat. You know, you could even add to that. You can say, actually, if you were skinny, you would be super boring. Okay, so why don't you try that now with what your first rock? You're going to write this in your journal. The reason that you're unlovable, you're going to turn it around and appreciate yourself for it. So the lover in this parable, he takes all the rocks out of his heart. It takes him a whole year because he has to go to AA, get a sponsor. Now he's done. He removed all the rocks. He looks at his field inside of his heart and he sees chickens. So if he plants any seeds, the chickens are going to eat them. Who are the chickens in your life? Chickens are people who cock block you. Like they don't want you to be happy. Or if you were happy, they would be secretly jealous of you. So go ahead and write this in your journal now. Sophia, do you have chickens? I hope you're not writing the entire species of men. Please don't.
Well, it's funny because I didn't know. I'm
Oh,
like, I don't
you
think
did.
there's.
The lover in this parable, he realizes his field doesn't have any water. Water is emotion. It's like joy, it's feelings that we have. And while he didn't have any more rocks, he got rid of the chickens, but it was really dry. And the lover in this parable, he didn't have anything in his life that he felt passionate about. He was kind of just waiting around for someone else to make him feel passionate. And that doesn't work because the person's going to eventually get bored and leave him. So then who's going to water his field? So he has to sort of have his own source of water. So he went back to school. He started a career that he really loved. He also got a pet, taught him how to play and enjoy the outdoors. And so that's how he ended up getting the water to water his field. So, what is the water in your field? What are you passionate about? Because I'm saying that if you don't have anything in your life that you're passionate about, that people will not find you juicy. They'll think you're dry. All right, so then the lover in this parable realized he had some good soil now, so he chose a seed, and he was very happy. It was a very nice, plump, good-looking seed. But it turns out it was the wrong seed. So when it sprouted and grew in his field, it brought him a lot of pain, and so he had to rip out the plant just to save his field. And what the lover didn't realize is that in order for love to grow, you have to have community. You have to be surrounded by good people who are wise, who can tell you which ones are the bad seeds and which ones are the good seeds. Like I had this buddy in college and he fell in love with this woman. She was incredibly tall and athletic and she spoke 9 languages. And in my head, I'm thinking, she's pretty amazing. Why is she with you? And then when I Googled her image, this is what came up. I mean, she's probably some Israeli Mossad agent, like a spy. So of course she doesn't want him to have any community because then someone was going to identify her. So who are the good and wise people in your life? Please write that in your journal now. Okay, so we're going to recap, right? Your heart, it's like a field of soil. And it's not enough to have fertile soil. You also have to remove the rocks and forgive yourself for thinking that you're not lovable. Then you have to get rid of the chickens. So you can't have haters or people who will secretly be jealous as soon as you get happy or are happy. You have to have some water. You have to be passionate about something in your life and pursue it in order to stay juicy. And then you have to have community. You have to have wise and good people who know good seeds from bad seeds. So if you want to look at your list, and based on this, how ready do you think you are to receive love?